guys.
Hello.
Welcome back.
We're here.
We're here.
Hungover, but we're here.
Yeah. To episode 4, which, what's crazy, I was looking at our YouTube earlier, and our first episode's like over 100 views now. So.
Ooh, look at us.
I'm
get
glad.
Some traction, right?
Yeah, get just, I don't know. I know for me, like, I like to listen to stuff in the morning. Sometimes other than music, like podcasts or audiobooks and stuff. So.
Yeah, me too while I'm getting ready.
Yeah. So hopefully if a mom out there is listening like in the morning or in her commute, it's helpful to you or funny to you or whatever it needs to be for you for that day. Yeah. I know today we were going to talk about finances. And everyone's like, not the money. Yeah, I mean, so here's my thing. I told Brittany actually right before we started filming, I was like, I'm fully prepared to talk about finances. She is as well. We have both of our pieces that I think would really be good contributions to moms, not just single moms. I mean, obviously single moms are really on strict budgets and because it's all on you, right? But also moms in general. I mean, moms who have like 2 under 2 or the ones who have, you know, more like several multiple children to feed and they're still in the home and they're like stay-at-home moms, so they're off one income. Like, I think there's some really good tips and tricks. But today...
I was like, there it is.
They're like, you're waiting for me to drop the bomb on them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, too, as a mom, again, we are going to talk about finances, and that, I pinky swear, will happen next episode. Or you guys can call me out and be like, where the fuck is my financial advice? You're a liar. Yeah, you're a liar. You pinky promised and you broke it. But sometimes I think especially the single moms, like, and this is kind of going back to our first episode I was talking to earlier. I mean, that was like the one that's had the most views because sometimes as a mom, you've just had it. Mm-hmm. Like, I have had it for the week. That's where I'm at. I am at my limit. I don't want to talk about finances. Like, sorry to my viewers. And again, I promise you guys, we will talk about next episode. But have you ever just been as a mom, like, I can't even function.
I was about to say, I can't even function. I can't do this right now.
Yep.
Like, and you just lay there. You're like, oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah. That's where I'm at. It's just, and it's like, it sucks because I'm like, I don't know if other moms feel this way or if you've ever felt this, but like, I have this heaviness right here on my chest. My eating's been weird all week. Like, it kind of makes my stomach feel weird too, even though I'm like not sick. And it's like, people are like, that's stress. I'm like, no, it's not stress because I've been stressed. And I feel better after like a workout when I'm stressed or even hanging out with you girls. It's like the weight of the world is not just on my shoulders. Bitch, it's pressed up against my whole body.
Yeah. I've been there. Recently too.
Yeah. And it's like, so then what do you do?
That's when I don't know. Just because it took me like a solid like 2 weeks. And then I was just like, you know what? I had to like force myself to be like, okay, look, I opened my eyes again this morning. That's a good sign. Yeah. Okay. My babies are healthy and doing good. That's another good sign. So I need to be appreciative for being here. And so that for some reason, I know I hate like having to tell yourself like, you're going to be fine. Like, it's going to be okay. But you have to hear it from somewhere, you know, like if nobody else is telling you it, which you definitely know my ass will tell you, but yeah, but if nobody else is telling you, you just have to tell yourself and just be like, it's not going to be like this for forever.
Yeah.
There are other sides of the story to come, you know, so.
I think you're right. Like, you nailed it right now when you said appreciation because and again, my kids are just, I love both my boys. But I haven't been appreciative. Like I haven't been appreciative of everything I have. Like, and I think it's because, again, I start to look at things from a perspective of, it's all on me. It's just me.
I was about to say like a stressed point of view.
Yes.
Yeah. And that makes you have zero patience for anything else.
Yes. My patience has been so short this week. We were driving to Burlington before you came over because, by the way, any mom on a budget. The backpacks were $20. Adidas, nice backpack. And then I had to get Cam an athletic bag for athletics this year. Yeah, because he's going to now be in middle school and doing sports and pre-athletics. And $12.99.
Oh, that's
They had
cheap.
Puma, Nike, Adidas, Champion, all the name brands. I was like, I'm sorry, $12.99.
That's perfect.
I'm like, that's great. Well, yeah, I mean, because that
You're
too.
expecting them to be like $45.
Right. That too was like stressful, obviously. And one of our good friends too, she like left me. We are lucky to where our friend group has a lot of boys in it. We're all boy moms. And mine is Brianna. She's got the two sweetest little girls.
Sweet. I'm just kidding. They're sweet but salty.
Sweet and salty. Sweet and spicy.
Salty. Oh yeah, spicy. They're spicy nice.
They're spicy nice.
Like
yeah. But like, Courtney left me a full bag of clothes, and I'm just so grateful because I don't have to buy any bottoms for Cam this year. One of them still had the tags on it.
I was about to say, she gives me clothes for Harper from Bella.
Yeah. I'm like, I told Cam, I was like, these are all very nice. I threw them in the wash, and I was like, we're going to focus in on shoes, your athletic stuff. Obviously I got the backpack stuff, chonies, socks, shirts, but like, I'm pretty much lucky. And you're right. I'm not going to cry today. I'm not being appreciative because all I can focus on is the stress. But you know what? Like, I have to say this. I think my stress is heightened by, and it makes me feel like weak saying this, but I have to be honest. And maybe if there's a mom out there who's felt this way too, my co-parenting situation makes me feel so helpless sometimes. And because of that, it stresses me out. There's things that'll happen with Jed's dad that will heighten my stress and my co-parenting. And it's like, I feel so angry because these things are happening, but then on the other side, I'm allowing him to still have that power.
I was going to say, that's when, so it's hard. It really is. But once you are there, you realize that they can't touch your peace anymore. And it's taken me a long time to get to that same position. But now that I am, I'm just like.
And I usually have so much peace,
in my
though.
lives. Yeah.
I do, but I think it pushes me to the limit to where it's like, like they say, don't poke the bear.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a pretty fucking easygoing bear.
You are. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm all about, you should have just left me alone.
Right. Like, I'm just like, dude, like, let's just be cool. Let me, like, be in my cave. Let me hibernate. Like, come pick up your little bear baby. Like, I don't know. But just, like, dude, like, I think the worst thing is, like, there's co-parents who, like, disappear, which John did do. He disappeared. I think the only reason now that he is being so annoying and a nuisance and trying to make things hard is because he was forced by the courts to pay and to be involved. And he's like, well, if I'm going to pay, then I'm going to be involved. It's like, right. And that's fine. We had our...
But then always be involved then. Don't just pick random times. Oh, I know it's my weekend, but no. Or, you know what I mean? Like, have consistency then.
Right. Because guess what? I have to consistently get up. Moms in general, like, and I'm not shitting on dads because there are some good dads. Like, there's some just in our group alone that I'm like, that's a good dad. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that's a damn good dad. Like, he's there. He's helpful. He understands his role and how he can help and alleviate those stresses. But I know that there's also positions, because, again, I've been in both, like, where I'm a single mom and where I'm a married mom. And I'm like, everything is on me and I have to show up consistently. Mm-hmm. And so why is it fair that you get to pick and choose when you show up and I'm the only constant in our kid's life, but then you still feel like you have the privilege to speak on something parenting-wise? Like, as if you not leaving me with our child, full-time care, full custody, full conservatorship, is not a testament to, I trust you, I know you'll make the best decision for our kids. But because something you feel is personally hurting you as an adult, then you're going to turn it around and use the child as a pawn and say, I don't think this is good for the kid. No, you know what? At that point, just be an adult. I'd rather hear from my co-parent, hey, that you doing that kind of hurts my feelings. and things are still a little fresh, would you mind considering maybe doing XYZ or an alternative for the time being as I work through this? I'm actively working on this emotion, but even though I'm an adult, I'm still a human being.
Yeah, it still takes time. And
Right.
I mean, it doesn't make you like a child or inconsiderate or anything. If anything, I feel like it's really polite to let somebody know and just okay, hold up. This was one of my like biggest complaints. If I don't know, like if you don't tell me, then I don't know. But
I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah, but you're mad at me and I have no idea why. Like, yeah, okay, speak. Like, tell me.
And I told someone the other day, I said, when an adult says, you piss me off, or everyone always takes to social media, they do some shit on social media, it's directed towards you or whatever. I'm the first one, and people can be like, whatever, you're sensitive. But I always say that just translate to adult version of you piss me off or you upset me or fuck you or whatever is an equivalent to a child saying you hurt my feelings. So I'm always like, I'm the first to be like, you know what? That hurt my feelings. Because that's what it equates
that's what happens,
to.
Yeah.
That's what it equates. So if my co-parent could come to me and say, hey, this is currently hurting my feelings and we share a child together, would you consider this? And even the word consider still means that they are leaving the opportunity for us together to come to a decision as co-parents and saying, okay, for the sake of our co-parenting relationship, I will consider, it still will be my choice, but I'll consider doing something alternatively until you can work through those emotions, and then we'll regroup from there.
Yeah.
If my co-parent could come to me and tell me that, you know what? I'm not going to lie. I'd be like, okay, like, all right, let me see what I can do and how I can adjust. Let me think about it, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Well, because there's a way of expressing your feelings and not how like I usually get feelings expressed towards me, but it's like you can tell somebody how you feel without cussing at them, yelling at them, belittling them, like, and all kinds of stuff, because now I'm just mad. And now I'm not even going to consider your feelings at all whatsoever.
Right.
Because now I'm pissed.
Right. But that's what I'm saying, and that's where I was at this week. So to kind of fill you guys in, my ex-husband, my second ex-husband, which is my youngest one's dad. My youngest one is on the spectrum. He's autistic. He's nonverbal. I mean, he signs. That's why he loves his Aunt B, because she signs.
Signing.
So they sign together, and I'm learning. And we recently had a hearing test, and, he's a little abnormal on the hearing. Nothing like where he'd have to, go to the Texas School of Deaf, but something that is just we're going to have to work through. So that was my week. Not the autism diagnosis, just kind of solidifying where he was on the hearing. And then on top of that, like you said, just dealing with a co-parent who can't communicate with me. I'm like, please don't yell at me. Please don't cuss at me.
It's just going to make me mad.
It's just going to make me mad. And you know what? It's like I'm already under so much stress. I have our child full time. If you're stressed from this, for just being there for a short period of time.
Imagine how I feel.
Every day, yep.
Every day,
and I take care of your kid every day. Dude, like the least you could do is just kind of be cool towards me. A little bit, maybe. I don't know. Right?
Like we don't have to be friends, but we need to be friendly for our children.
Right. 100%. Yeah. I love that. I don't got to be your friend. I don't want to be your friend.
I don't want to. Yeah, but we need to be friendly.
Yeah, and at minimum cordial.
Yeah. Well, because I'm one of those people who believe in like still inviting my ex to the kids' birthday parties because that was their other parent. Well, Yeah. And it definitely takes time, especially if you're not on good terms when you break up, or get divorced, then
but no one is.
Nobody is.
Even if it's like amicable, even if it's been dead for a long time.
You still don't want to see each other for a while.
Yeah, you still just need a damn break.
Yeah.
You're like, I just need a minute away from you. And really, that's just to find yourself again. Who am I without this person next to me?
Yeah, that's another reason why I've stayed single so long. Is just because I was just like, okay, hold up. For 2.5 years, I was used to this. Now I need to get back used to this.
Right.
Just like I was after my marriage. I was in that marriage for 10 years. Excuse me. And then after that, I stayed single for a year. before I started talking to anybody, just because I'm like, okay, let me reset.
Right.
Factory reset.
Factory
figure
reset.
Out what I've got going on, what my issues were, back into therapy, all the things. So.
But see, that's where I think I'm tired. Like, I was definitely the bigger person, and Cayman will even attest to this. He was very upset because I was the one who asked for a divorce in our marriage. I was like, I did us a favor because we were both so unhappy, and now seeing him so happy and him seeing me more happy like that. And Cam is happier because he has two happy parents who are able to show up to his basketball games, and you know what I mean? Yeah. As to oppose, if we had still been married, we would have been on year 12, and we would have definitely hated each other at that point. I mean, we were on year 7 back then, so imagine.
Oh my gosh.
We would, yeah, it would have been bad. We would have been driving separate cars. We would have been that married couple.
Sleeping in separate beds, all the things. Oh,
all the things separate. I've been like, you live on that side, rolling down tape. You stay on that side of the house, and this is my side of the house.
I was like, yeah.
And I hope you have a cat opener over there, bitch.
I was about to say, because y'all do know how to poke each other.
We do.
Perfectly.
We do. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. But in that end of the relationship, I had to be the bigger person because Camden was very little. He had just turned 5. And I was like, that's okay. Like, Cayman will come around. And he eventually did. It took him a while because he was hurt, understandably so.
Yeah.
But I had to be the bigger person. And sometimes I feel like maybe I'm doing my second husband, soon-to-be ex-husband, a disservice because I am so sick and tired of being the bigger person.
Me too.
And I'm like, are there no other moms out there or like moms who are co-parenting? Because I know they're usually, not always, again, if we have men listeners, because I don't want them to be like, don't be shit on dads. Not always dads, men, but usually the mom is the bigger person in that situation, and it's exhausting.
Yeah, just to always have to think like, oh my God, okay,
Here we go.
If I do X, Y, and Z, how's this gonna come back on me? You know what I mean? Like, you always have to think of the follow through. You have to think from point A to point Z, and like dads just go from A to L in 5 seconds, and they're like, meh, we'll be all right. And you're like, no, bro, there has to be a Z.
Right. Well, even too, like me, that's why I'm very corporate with my messages to Jed's dad, because I get anxiety. Like, I don't want to get yelled at or cussed at. So I don't want to set him off. So I'm always like, what is the best way? I don't want to be super friendly because at the end of the day, you've done some really messed up stuff, dude. And yeah, it hurt me, but I know we still have a child and we got a co-parent. I don't want to be your friend, like you said earlier. I just don't. I have no interest in it.
No, we need to be friendly, but I don't want to be your friend.
Right. So I'm not going to be like, hey, good morning. But I'll be corporate. I'll be like, hello. And then I'll say what I need to say. Please advise. Or let me know. Thank you. And that's it. Because in my mind, I'm like, this is the only way I can maybe try to keep the peace.
But the fact that it took a court-ordered app for him to finally communicate with you about your son is crazy.
Barely.
Yeah, he barely even does that. But still, that's crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. That alone, Brittany, is like just adding to the pile that's making me so exhausted to the point where I'm like, again, the whole reason we got on the Burlington rant was on my way to Burlington, this dude cut me off and I am so at my limit. I just blared on my horn. I'm like, where are you going? We're in the same traffic, motherfucker. I'm like,
and the kids are all in the car. They're like,
I know Cam's like,
that's her ghetto side.
Yeah, they're like, she's lost it. She's gone off the deep end. But I'm that so close. I'm like, whew. And I have to just be like, me and Camden, have you ever seen Anger Management with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
And we're always like, Camden jokes because I let him see it once. Probably shouldn't have, but it's not that bad.
Oh, well.
I mean, he's a preteen, so we always go, goose fraba. Because like they say it in Anger Management and it's like a funny word, but I'm like, goose fraba! Goose fraba! Yeah, like I'm just like,
scream it.
Yeah, like scream it. Like it's exhausting. And this is too where like this podcast, this platform has like the real aspect to me is like, if there's a mom listening who has been in my situation and you have somehow gotten through it, I still need advice, girl. Help a sister out.
Yeah, I'm like,
what is it that you're doing? Like, how are you getting through the just absolute exhaustion of one, the day-to-day, and then two, dealing with someone who just doesn't even co-parent.
My only advice is just to stop. Like, if he's not trying to hold up his end, you can't keep grabbing his hand and letting him stress you out like this. Just leave him alone then. And come October, when y'all have that other hearing, they're gonna have to be like, okay, so did you try to see your kid? Well, she didn't reach out to me. It's not her business to reach out to you. You're supposed to reach out to her about seeing him.
Right. The dates are in the court order. And I've done that. I think the biggest thing that's exhausting for me is like when he does reach out, my anxiety level goes through the roof. Oh, yeah. Because it's just...
Well, it's still fresh.
No, it's not even that. It's just
I'm talking about like all like the communication.
The communication.
Him
right.
Getting time with him every other weekend.
I guess so, but it's more like... My mom did the best she could, right? But she had my dad like in and out a lot because I think she really wanted us to try to have a relationship with him after they divorced. Mm-hmm. And again, I think co-parenting after a divorce fucking 30 years ago was very different than it is today. I mean, you divorced your spouse and sometimes you just never fucking saw him again. Back then.
You just left.
That was it. Yeah. And so she was still trying her best. She was definitely ahead of her time. But, it just wasn't working out. And sometimes I'm like, girl, I think it was a lot on you. I remember her being like angry when we would have to like go and she was stressed and get your bags and girls, are you dressed? And then I catch myself
doing the same thing.
Me
too. And I'm like, okay, Brittany, take a breath.
Yeah. Take
a step back. This is not your kid's fault.
Nope.
Like you wanted to have kids.
Right. Oh, yeah. And I love my kids.
Oh, no. It's not that we don't love our kids at all whatsoever. It's that it's on us. All of it. So you can't even be like, oh, yeah, my husband's taking the kids for the day so I can go get a pedicure or something. It's never anything like that.
No. So. And even, too, though, I have, like, you ladies and other ladies in my life. And I know, too, I'll be like, leave the kids, blah, blah, blah. I think there's, like, an associated mom guilt or shame. Or even for me personally, I know that my ex will be like, oh, so you can go here or go there. And I'm like, dude, I haven't been alone I haven't taken a shit alone in like a month. At all. I don't do anything alone. I don't shower alone. I don't get ready alone.
Jed's always like, hey.
I don't poop alone. I don't sleep alone. I don't get dressed alone. I don't shop alone. And guess what you do 99% of the time?
Be alone.
Be alone. So if one of my girlfriends offers to watch the kids for the evening while I go get a manicure, that's my fucking business, bro.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
That's my business. And that's the exhausting part of it.
Yeah. Well, and like last night, didn't came in, watch the boys.
He did.
For my birthday party. Because we celebrated my birthday early. So, because I'm going to go get my kiddos from my ex's out of state. But he watched both of them. I was like, look at that.
And the little ones, I mean, obviously everyone knows the little one is not his. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. And again, I don't want any mom listening to be like, oh my God, okay, great. Like we could get there. Yes, you could. Yeah, but again, it took us 2 years and a lot of hard conversations and a lot of hurt feelings. I'm not a super emotional person and Cayman is, bless his heart. He is. Like,
I'm not emotional either.
I'm not either. He's definitely like, I think emotions, I've always been one to like kind of just be like, this is how I felt and that's it. And then I'll move on. But Cayman wants to talk about it. And so we struggled with that in the beginning. But even through the hard conversations, the tears, you know what I mean? The setting boundaries, navigating new relationships, Cayman had to navigate when I got remarried, and I got pregnant and I had to navigate when he started dating. And I realized this was something now serious. Here we are 2 years later where he's like, oh, yeah, I'll watch the kids. Just let me know.
Yay.
You know what I mean? So it is possible. And I think that's the one thing I still hold on hope to is like that because like you said, I guess you're right. I got to give you that. It's still fresh, right? And everyone handles things differently in their own timeline that maybe in a few years, me and Jed's dad can co-parent that way. Yeah. And we can, be there, but then there's a part of me too, and I think I hate when I see on social media or whatever the fuck, when they're like, well, he would be there if you would allow it. Or maybe you blah, blah, blah. And it's like, first of all, you don't know every mom's circumstance.
No, every person's story's
totally different.
Yep.
There could be safety reasons. There could be a laundry list of reasons. It could be just court ordered. You know what I mean? Like, there's some moms that are like, I would still have him around because of the things he did or a criminal background. The court said he has to show up at this place and have a designated supervised visit. I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes the courts pick that shit for you. You know what I mean? Like, there's different things that go into a woman, being able to effectively co-parent with their ex. So don't sit there and, be like, well, if she... No, dude. Because you know what, too? It's like, I know that at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, right? If Jed's dad could be consistent and he could be respectful and he could be safe,
half the stress would drop off. Yeah. But the fact that he has to have supervised visit, it means that you always have to be around him too.
Yep. Me, my mom, or my sister, and of course I don't want to drag them in unnecessarily unless like I'm absolutely not available and it's a court order visit. But that's just like in the case of an emergency or a one-off. But yeah, most of the time it's me. So it's like, hey, let's work towards this. But again, I think there's signs of someone who can and who cannot. And I think a lot of single moms pick up on those signs, and that's where they start to make their decisions, right? If you have someone 3 years into co-parenting still calling you XYZ, berating you, withholding finances from you, you know what I mean? I'm not going to pay the child support this month because I saw you with your new dude, or whatever the case may be. Those are indicators to a woman and a mom that's like, this is not going to change. It's not letting up. We're 2-3 years in and it's the same.
It's the same exact stuff over and over and over. Yeah, I was about to say the only sad thing is that I think that John's going to be that way.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I identify with the moms who are like, it just didn't let up. See, with Cayman, it progressively got better.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like, even though we still, and like you see us to this day, we're still, like you said, we know how to, we get on each other's nerves a lot. But it always progressively got better. Like, after every conversation, there was either an apology or, okay, this is now where we stand and how we're going to go forward with XYZ issue. And now we're at where we're at. And honestly, I'm happy that we are. But I agree now. I realize that the moms who are in the position that get shit on a lot for no damn reason at all, it's like, probably because, like you said, they realized at some point,
This bullshit.
This some bullshit, and it's not going to stop.
No.
It's not. And that's what I think is exhausting. And to me, what it is, and again, people may think I'm wrong, there is a substantial lack of accountability in that co-parent's life, whether it be man or woman.
Oh, yeah. 100%. And there's always like, they're owed something. It's almost like, and I'm just like, no, that's not how this works.
The only one owed anything in the situation is our children.
It's the kids, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not you. You're not.
And we're not together anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I hear friends and have, done some shit, but at the same time, like, it's like, you cannot tell me what to do or how to feel or anything like that anymore. So we will just be friendly, but not friends.
Right.
And so I feel like y'all too, even though y'all have gotten closer, I'm not saying like anything like that. Y'all have befriended each other in a way that helps your son so much. Right. Yeah.
And a key part of that is what you just said. We don't have opinions on either of each other's lives unless it directly affects Cam.
Yeah. Like it has to be, there's where you and your ex have to like really draw the line. It's like, if you have a comment about me and what I'm doing,
please don't.
Just worry about you and what you're doing.
Right. Unless you feel like at some point Cam is not in a safe position or you not around a safe individual, then we can talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's our agreement.
But like, besides that,
we don't
leave us be.
Yeah. There's opinions I have on his shit, and I'm sure he has opinions on mine, but we're just like, okay, you know what?
Like, I'm your ex. I forgot.
Yeah. Let me just be quiet. Let me just shut up for a minute. But that's what I'm saying. It's not just the self-accountability and almost like you said, the entitlement, right? I'm owed this. It's like the people too around them that don't hold them accountable.
They facilitate it.
And that's what gets me so mad is like that my mom, one thing she always did was hold us accountable. Mm-hmm. I mean, always, right? She'd be like, okay, like, I know you're upset, but you have no one to be upset at except for yourself in this situation. So you need to really think about what you could have done differently or should have done differently or should have not done. And maybe the outcome would have been different or more in your favor. You know what I mean? And so
that's the teacher in her.
It's oh God, 35 years and still subbing, by the way.
I'm like, that's the teacher in her.
Still subbing. I'm like, retire. She's like, I am retired. I just work 5 days a week. Like, there's 7 days in a week, Mom. What the fuck are you talking? So you're not retired.
No.
But she was always very accountable with us, and I'm accountable with my children. And the main reason is because I have boys, and I'll be damned if my sons grow up, and God forbid, I hope they have very good, healthy marriages. I would hope and pray that even though I couldn't provide and facilitate that for my children, that my grandchildren can see that. And I know a big part of that is I have to hold my boys accountable.
Yeah.
I have to be like, hey, you got to step it up. Or, you know, that wasn't right. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I cannot sit there and coddle them, because then if I do, they will stop mentally maturing at like 16.
Yeah, and that's something that I've had to recently do with my son, who's over 9. But he's like, it's just to where he'll just tell me a part of the story. So, like, he told me yesterday on the phone he got in trouble for pushing his sister. And I was just like, okay, first off.
Back up like 3 steps.
First off, why are you touching your sister?
Yeah.
Like, you need to leave her alone altogether. Well, then come to find out it's because he had pushed her while she was walking downstairs.
Oh, yeah. Landon.
I was like, okay, so now, what if she would have to go to the emergency room?
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, it wasn't that much, or it wasn't that hard. And I was just like, no, son, no. Either way, you need to keep your damn hands to yourself. Stop touching people. I was like, you need to be using your words instead.
Because in about 9 years, if you don't keep your hands to yourself,
I said you can go to jail.
Yep. I tell Camden.
Oh, not even, girl, in middle school, now if you do it at, like, I think age 12.
Yeah,
if you assault a teacher or anything like that, they charge you.
You're an adult.
They charge you for that.
Yep.
Yeah, so not even.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I tell Camden.
Like 3 years.
I'm like, dude, you can't. Yeah, that's what I tell Camden too. I'm like, you cannot be making just like these off the whim decisions, and I have to hold them accountable. And I really think that speaks to if you end up in a co-parenting situation, and there may be moms out there who are, but it's always funny to me when I'm blamed. Not funny. Yeah, actually, you know what? Fuck it. It's funny.
It's funny.
It's funny. It's funny to me that my co-parent and their family are always like, oh, like, well, you know, he's just down, and after everything, it was really hard for him, and you just blah, blah, blah. Everything's about me, right? You don't make the schedule according to his night shift. Like, when's he supposed to see Jed? Like, at night when he get, like, just all these excuses, right? They're not holding any accountability. But I'm like, at the end of the day, you can say what you want about me, but there are 2 adults in the situation who both decided to have a child. One adult is able to fully take care of herself and her 2 children. One of them is, of course, you know, the co-parent's child. I am able to maintain a career. I am able to go to school. I'm able to make sure extracurriculars are done. Therapy is done. All the things are done. They drive in a new car. They have a nice home. They're always dressed. They're always fed. They're healthy. They make all their doctor's appointments. And the other one still lives with you, and they're 30.
And doesn't do
anything. Yeah. But I am the issue, right? And that's what I'm saying. Then, if you say that as a co-parent, you're the bitter baby mama. Why are you an angry woman? I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. I'm tired.
I'm telling you all the shit that I accomplish, and it's literally so freaking draining. And you're over here just like nitpicking.
Yes. No, I'm tired. I'm drained. I'm exhausted. My patience level is thin.
Of course, I'm not in a good mood.
Poking this band. I'm like, oh. It's just like, I don't know, like I resonate very much when we saw Inside Out 2. You haven't seen it yet, right? Please take the kids when they come back. As a matter of fact, I'll see it again.
I like that meme when it's like my Inside Out emotion, it's Medea. I'm like,
that's
accurate.
Yeah, that's you. See, I don't know if you've seen where Joy loses it in the movie, and Anger is like, and if Joy can't see that, she's delusional. And Joy's like, delusional? Of course I'm delusional. She's like, mother flipping Pop-Tart, something like, in the movie, it's funny, right? It's funny for adults and kids. But I'm like, bro, that's me. Like, I just try to be happy and positive and chipper for the boys.
Too.
But the second my ex or my co-parent is Anger, that little short, stubby toe-looking red thing, and it's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, let's talk about it then. Yes, I am.
I'm not very kosher anymore. In some type of way.
They're like coming through my body. Just
Dia's rising.
Yeah. Just like my Medea. Like, oh my God, Lord. I don't know. You know, I know this kind of turned into like a rant fest, but again, moms need that sometimes.
Yeah.
You
Just
know,
to, like, getting
just
it
to
all
unload.
out. Realize you're not the only one going through it. Because I think that's another thing is that a lot of moms feel alone, you know? And they're like, oh, I'm probably the only person who's ever experienced this. And I mean, I was literally just texting a new friend on Friday, and she was like, man, it's just been really overwhelming trying to find a job and blah, blah, blah. I was like, same here. Like, I mean, it's been overwhelming just because real estate's been down. And so, because the interest rates have been so high and everything, just the cost of living is amazingly high. Everybody's living with their exes again. Okay. Everybody's figuring it out for the budget.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's just like, I just want to, talk to you about, I was like, yeah, dude, you're not alone at all. I was like, I'm definitely there. And so she was like, oh, it's just so nice to know that, like, I'm not the only person stressing and going through all this. So I was like, oh, definitely not. I was like, you're definitely not alone.
No.
So.
And I think, and this may be controversial to say, but it's not just, if you probably, there's moms out there, I'm sure, that feel alone. We all have experienced that motherhood. But dare I say the word afraid? Like, I am afraid to say my truth sometimes because, again, if I do, what am I labeled as? Bitter, angry. She's just mad it didn't work out. She's just mad that my son didn't want to be with her. She's just a bitter baby mom. Or men just tearing you up and saying, what, you're just upset because you chose you don't know what I chose. You don't know what I chose. I was there for that man day in and day out. I personally, as a spouse, know how the fuck I show up.
Oh, me too.
I know how the fuck I show up. You don't fucking know me. You don't know I work, and I work a damn good job, by the way. You don't know how much I put into my work, how much I put into my children, how much I put into my appearance, because I understand if I'm married to you, I am a reflection of you. My children will be a reflection of you. You don't understand all the ways that I showed up in my marriage, and guess what? I was still deserted. The only person here who is bitter and angry is you, because when you point one finger, how many you got pointing back? So, but then I think there's moms that are afraid to say that, so they don't speak their truth, and then they hold it all in, and then they're joy from fucking inside out.
Oh, really?
You going, what? I'm sorry, what?
That's funny.
You know what I mean? I'm feeling real Britney Spears 2007 in this bitch. I'm like, and now I know why she did it. She just had those kids with that fucking dude.
Oh, yeah.
The backup dancer. Everyone was like,
forgot about that.
Britney's crazy. I'm like,
yes, I am. Don't test me.
I'm like, you know what? I could kind of see it now.
Oh, yeah. I could see how some chick could just randomly shave her head.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
just
like,
fuck it.
you know what? For me, it'd be sensory overload. I'd be like, the kids are touching me. Everything's touching me. These clothes are too
My
tight.
hair is touching me.
My hair. I'm going to cut my hair. Start shaving it.
I'd be like, oh, I didn't really think about this look very much, did I? You're all bald as hell. You're like, damn, I got 4 chins? I thought I only had the one.
Oh, shit. Hell yeah. I'd be like, I don't look good bald. Oh,
You
well.
have a hump on the back of your neck and shit you didn't know about. You're like, damn.
Time to buy a wig. Back to the purple hair. If I'm buying a wig, it's going to be purple.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. That's my favorite color.
I'm like, it's going to be crazy. I don't know. I think, I don't have much advice to give on this episode at all. If anything, the only thing I can give is
give it time. It
time.
sucks.
Yeah.
Really sucks. But
comfort.
Give it time. And, like, think about yourself. Be like, okay, if I'm not taking care of me, how can I take care of 2 other human beings?
Yep.
So.
Right. And you have to take care of you, which sometimes that means just sitting down with a girlfriend, like we're sitting down and saying, hey, or even
I was a terrible mom this week. How
yeah,
are you terrible?
Yeah, how are you? Or like even too, like I know that's why I fucking love you guys, because we could plan something like a dinner or going out or a brunch, and I'd be like, today's been fucking awful, or this week's been shit. Can I just come over in my pajamas with my kids and we order pizza and like I just like cry and vent?
Yeah.
And you guys,
we're like,
yeah, fuck it.
Come on.
You're like, I wasn't gonna go anyways. Like low key taking off your heels, wiping off your makeup. Don't worry, girl. I wasn't ready or nothing.
No, it's fine. I'll just crawl back into my bed. Take my hair down.
You're like, fuck it. But you know, and that too, like I said, I want to, besides the comforting part, like you said, like you got to give it time, and that's the comforting. I don't have a ton of advice. I'm still navigating this. But also like encouragement. Like, dude, if you're a mom, don't get me wrong. There's anxieties with me just alone saying this stuff publicly. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm like,
fuck it.
What is going to happen? You're going to be mad that I said my truth? You're going to be mad that I found a way for me to keep my own sanity and inner peace? You know what? You've taken enough. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm just like, you're not going to scare me into not sharing, because my thing is that, you know, other moms don't want to feel alone either.
No, or crazy, or like there's something wrong with them, or like they have to change. No, you know what? You can have an unhinged week. If you don't wash your hair for 8 days, guess what? Me too, sister.
I was like, I mean, sometimes it happens. You're like, oh shit, yeah, when's the last time I washed my hair? And you're just like, oh, okay, I'm a little depressy, I think. I'm a little stressed out.
I'm a little depressy, messy.
Yeah. It's just like, okay,
time to shower for sure.
Let's get in there.
But you know what? Like, even I'll say this to our viewers today, and I think Brittany kind of knew too. We went out last night too for her birthday because she's our beautiful birthday queen. But we had, oh girl,
threw my back out.
I woke up with a Charlie horse like at 3 a.m. I was like, I'm dying. This is it.
Where's the banana?
Jed's like, because he sleeps with it.
What is wrong with you, Mom? You're having a seizure.
I know. He's like, shut up and go back to bed. I'm just like, but I told Brittany, I was like, if you have anything left over, which we had a ton of good food, I was like, bring it, because I couldn't even make dinner. I just couldn't. I'm at that point where I'm so tired. And dude, you don't even know, like, I am just grateful you brought leftovers because, and not only this, you know what, Brittany, I'm just gonna, for a minute, just because I love her. Not only did she bring leftovers, y'all, she then, as I am using the bathroom, because I got tummy issues. If you know me, you know my tummy is always messed up. So I'm like, immediately got to go after we eat. And Cam comes down, and my ex already has the baby upstairs trying to get him ready for the evening because he's helping me. You know, Cam's dad is helping me with my youngest, which I'm very grateful for. Brittany asked Cam, do you want anything? Telling him all the stuff. I'm like, if you want something, let Aunt B know now because we're about to, go film. And he's like, taking forever to think about it. I'm like, dude, make a decision. But I'm already in the bathroom. He's like, no, okay. She's like, okay, well, if you want something, let me know. And it's like those little things. I'm like you said earlier, I haven't been very appreciative this week. And I think this conversation, you coming over, you feeding me and my children.
And I was like, oh, so are we doing finances today? She was like, no.
I was like, okay. I know we planned for finances, but I had a very rough week, and I just kind of want to talk about it. She was like, okay.
That's fine.
It's she needs professional help. Oprah! Oprah Winfrey.
Did your therapist fire you?
No, she didn't. She's actually, though, on vacation, so I haven't talked to her in like a week.
That's what this is,
That's why I'm laughing so hard.
We were just a full-time unpaid therapist.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Look at all the moms sending in their invoices. They're like, 45 minutes of hearing this bitch talk about absolutely nothing.
$100.
That's me.
Owe me.
Yeah, that's my therapist. She's probably like, okay, well, here's the copay. It's so bad that I think I told you when she tells me when she goes on vacation, because she's like, this bitch sees me once. I'm going to be on vacation for a little bit. I'm like, and when will you be back? Like with my phone calendar, I'm like, okay, no, I'll be available that day on the week you return.
It's like, sure, I could be there.
But yeah, like I said, I think it's comfort in knowing that You're not alone, like your friend, you know, and don't be scared.
Don't be scared?
Don't be a scared.
Like a scaredy cat?
Yeah, don't be a scaredy cat. Like, don't. I think if more and more moms got together, you know, not just moms, but, you know, especially single moms, because they deal with a lot of this shit. And we're like, bro, same.
No, our kids hate it when we have a hangout because you don't have one mom in the room. You have like 10.
Right.
Who are going to get on to you about the same exact thing.
Oh, God.
So, like, I love when Hunter, last time he was trying to get away with some shit, and I was just like, boy, did you hear what your mama said? And he was just like...
I'm like, go get a napkin, please. It was when he dropped the pizza.
Oh, yeah. I was like, you missed some over there.
I want to pick it up.
Yeah, I was just like, boy,
But I think, like, laughing. If more moms got together and said, you know what, it's time that we are just honest and truthful. And what's the worst that could happen? Someone's mad at you who already doesn't really co-parent. Who's already mad at you. I mean, you're... Good. In the eyes of the courts too, I mean, I've thought about it, but I'm like, you know what? If the courts ever question me on this shit, I'm going to tell them, first of all, I have my freedom of speech. So if you're trying to take away one of my, you know, constitutional rights, then I got to get an attorney then, and I'm not talking until I get one. And 2, if you're going to tell me that me voicing reality that I can show you, it's not just story, it's reality that I can show you with proof is going to get me in trouble, then I think we have some, which we already do. Don't get me started on that. We've got some systematic issues because I can still fully provide, take care, and do everything for my kids that I need to. Yeah. Speaking of, that's my little one, y'all.
Well, we've got to go.
Gotta run because my little one's in the back screaming, and it's probably about his bedtime, and that's why he's ready for mama. But thank you guys. And thank you guys. I know y'all usually listen to us, but I feel like today you listened to me. So thank you for listening to me, my listeners.
We're a therapist, remember? Yeah. She's out of town. I'll be like...
Courtney's going to...
I'll be like, oh, dang, sorry, Eddie, it's time to go. I got to dip out of here.
Yeah. Thank you guys. And like I said, next
week we'll do finances.
Finances? Yeah. For show.
Sounds
Till
good.
next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.